strong UK-China relationship is important for both of our countries.
Keir Starmer's first in-person meeting with China's leader. Cameras evicted by Chinese officials. The government hopes this meeting proves to be a step towards a prime ministerial trip to China that brings Chinese investment and trade. Not wanting to rock that boat is, it's suggested, why the prosecution of these two alleged spies collapsed. Both Christopher Berry and Christopher Cash deny all the allegations against them.
We were in that place.
The Director of Public Prosecutions, Stephen Parkinson, told a joint committee of MPs and peers he needed the government to say China was a national security threat 3 years ago when the alleged spying happened. But the relevant official, the Deputy National Security Advisor, just wouldn't do it.
We felt that there should be no difficulty, in fact, in answering the question that we posed. Was China an active threat to national security at the material time? We thought that would be evidence that could be given relatively easily, but it turned out to be a sticking point. We asked that question on the 11th of June. We slightly amended it the following day. It took 14 months to get the answer to that question, and the answer was no.
Dame Emily.
He was asked if the Crown Prosecution Service had messed up the case by obsessively trying to extract one particular phrase, saying China was a national security threat, from one particular official.
You could also have just asked a British jury, is China an enemy, particularly given the way it's been behaving?
Well, as I've explained, the view that we took, and I will invite Mr. Little to add to this, but the view that we took was that our case wouldn't survive a submission of no case to answer, and so it wouldn't get to a jury.
Keir Starmer wants to rekindle better relations with China and follow in the footsteps of prime ministers like David Cameron and Theresa May with his own trip to Beijing. Critics have claimed that's what collapsed this case. The official whose evidence fell short of what the CPS wanted said they were pushing him to use language that went beyond government policy at the time of the alleged offences.
What I said I would be able to say is that China poses a series of threats to UK's national security. These include espionage threats, cyber threats, threats to our democratic institutions, threats to our economic security. I believe what they were asking me to say was to use the generic term that China is a threat or China is an active threat, which is not in line with government policy at the time.
Keir Starmer was today in Turkey signing a defence deal. In the front row, his National Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell. The Cabinet Secretary was asked about newspaper allegations that Mr Powell had contributed to the collapse of the prosecution.
You will be unsurprised to hear, looked into this question and spoke to Mr Collins and Mr Powell, as well as reviewing the written evidence. I've seen absolutely no evidence at all that there was any influence on the case from Mr Powell.
The Deputy National Security Advisor told MPs and peers a more open discussion with the Crown Prosecution Service earlier in the process might have been a good idea.